Welcome back. This is part 3 and the wrap-up of my chat with Lisa Decker. She's a certified divorce financial analyst and founder of Divorce Money Matters and Divorce Town USA. I'll get that out. Divorce Town USA. Lisa has shared her story of the sudden death of her husband about a year ago, some of the lessons she's learned about life, love, and learning to live again, as well as the story of her heart rocks that she's found. I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan, and this is part of my continuing series of interviews with women who have inspiring stories to tell and who are role models for the rest of us when it comes to learning to thrive. Lisa, thanks for all you've shared so far.
Thank you, Maria, for having me. This has been my pleasure.
You are an inspiration for me personally, and I'm sure for many of the others who will listen to this chat. You've told me that this journey over the last year has changed you profoundly. I'd like to know, what are some of the things you wish you'd known?
Well, I will say, the first one is that I wished I had taken better care of myself through the process of this first year. There's so much to take care of after someone passes, and you feel like you have to be that rock, you have to be strong, you have so many things that need to be done, and you want to be solid and ready for your family. And so I pushed myself. And on top of that, you have to remember, I was also trying to save my mother from losing her life with her triple cancer diagnosis. So we went to more than 120 doctor's appointments last year in 2017. And gratefully, she's doing well. But I just never really stopped to take care of myself, and I crashed by the end of the year. I just really hit the wall, and it was difficult to climb back out of that. So had I not had to do so much and not had to be so strong, I may not have hit the wall as hard. But it is a difficult year, and I'm glad I got through it, but I wished I had taken better care of myself through it. Additionally, I would say to folks, don't make unnecessary decisions until you feel like you've got your feet solidly on the ground again. I was trying to make a lot of decisions about matters related to finishing our house that we had moved into, even the funeral, trying to make a lot of decisions there. I was grateful that friends and family stepped in and helped me with that. And especially with financial decisions, that's a really big one. And being a divorce financial planner, when you're under a stressful life change, like anything like divorce or death, you need someone who can help you through that and think with you, because your emotions can get in the way. And sometimes that was for me as well. So finding solid support, someone who understands what you're going through and can help you be a better decision maker and put the emotions in the back burner, would be something I would also recommend. Mm. And there's one other thing that I learned along the way that I wished I'd have known, and that is to make sure that, this is for everyone, that somewhere you leave a list of passwords for your family, for those who have to take care of matters afterwards. Fortunately, I was the one that took care of the financial matters and the accounts and things like that, so I have that information. But I didn't have my husband's passwords to his phone, for instance. There were videos and pictures that I wanted to get off of his phone, and we were never able to reclaim them because of that, and that makes me sad to this day. And additionally, social media. I had to write to LinkedIn because ironically, on the first anniversary date of his passing, the day after Christmas, LinkedIn sent me a message that said, "Hey, look what Ron Decker's doing. It's his anniversary of working at his job." And it was just unnerving to receive that, especially that day. So fortunately, I was able to write to them and let them know, and they since have removed his profile. But it would be very helpful. I know there are still people I know on Facebook who have passed away, and people every year wish them a happy birthday because they don't know that they passed, right? So having this information somewhere that your family can get to it when it's needed, could be tucked away with your will, and your attorney has it, so that, people don't have that information willy-nilly. But at a time when you've passed, it's so helpful. It is, to me, leaving a legacy of love, that you make it easy for your family to handle things after the transition.
Those are such great tips that I think so many people don't think of. My brother, one of my brothers passed suddenly last year, and my sister-in-law was faced with exactly those situations with social media and finances, and not being able to gain access to do what was the right thing to do. Those are such great tips. Any other lessons you'd like to share?
Well, I want to share some of the things I felt that I did right that really did make it much easier. And one of the things was that we had redone our wills just a few years before our estate planning things. And it was such a blessing to be able to open the binder and say, what were his final wishes? I didn't have to decide whether he wanted to be buried or cremated. It was there. It made that a peaceful decision. Your documents should be up to date, especially if you've moved from another state like we had. Had we not done that, we'd be dealing with probate in a different state, which would have complicated matters tremendously. Having all the financial documents and the insurance policies updated. Again, when your family needs those things after you've passed and they can't gain access because they don't have a death certificate yet, they may not have any funds to live on. And that is just sad and tragic on top of everything they've been through. I know in my case, the medical examiner was so backed up that they said it could be 3 to 6 months before we got a death certificate. And you cannot access anything without that. And, so it is critical that your family be able to access those kinds of things. And again, I go back to this legacy of love, but that's what I call it. The other thing is, get support and give yourself a break. And I did that with the life escape that I've gone on and the different modalities I shared last time. Living life with an attitude of gratitude. I find blessings in the most unbelievable places, in the smallest, tiniest of things. Of a little flower that others might think is a weed can sometimes be the only beautiful thing that you see in a bad day. But when you seek those gifts, things will continue to get better. When you find gratitude, your blessings continue to come. And expecting miracles. And I believe when you expect them, you find them. And that the heart rocks and the hearts of all kinds are a testimony to that. And I believe that what I've learned and did right is that I now look at challenges and how can I turn a challenge into a catalyst for positive change, not only for my life, for my client's life, but also for the world. What can we do with tragedies that happen to make something good come from them? And that is the only way that I've gotten through so many things in life, is turning them around and finding the gifts within.
Wow. That's just so beautiful. And it's so heartwarming to hear that it's doable, that it can turn out that way if we expect it, if we ask for it, if we open ourselves to the possibility.
Yeah. Ask, allow, accept, believe, and you will receive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You mentioned to me that you, throughout all of this, developed something called the heart formula.
Yeah.
What is that?
I believe this was divinely inspired, came to me in my sleep. And so it basically is the acronym for the word heart. And H is for having your affairs in order. You know, we talked about the estate plan, the documents, all of that. That really, again, is critical for your family. E is emotions. Let them flow to let them go. Don't stifle things. You have to let it out in order to overcome it. A is to accept your new reality and assess your options from there. You're starting in a new place, and you figure that out and you go from that spot. And R is to reach out for help, because just like divorce, this is not a time to do it alone or be alone. You really need to surround yourself with good people, coaches like yourself. And T is to take your time. Grief does not have this linear timeline. It has its own timeline for each person, and it will ebb and flow, but take your time. Allow yourself the time that you need to heal.
That's beautiful. Heart formula. Another acronym. I love acronyms. That's great. I hope that you will share that with all of us. Maybe on your Facebook page, would you tell us how we could reach you on Facebook if
Thank you
anyone would
so
like
much.
to get in touch with you?
Yes, and I've been sharing this journey for more than a year now. And thank you for being so supportive there, Maria, among so many friends. I appreciate you so very much. And I can be found in Facebook at Lisa C, like cat, Decker, Decker. You have to have the C. There's a lot of Lisa's Deckers running around. But Lisa C. Decker at Facebook and at LinkedIn. But on Facebook is where I've been sharing the journey, and I would love to share it with some new friends as well. Feel free to reach out to me there.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate all that you are. I love who you are. I have loved you from the first day I met you, which is several years ago now. And I love how you've shared this experience of yours, which could have turned out to be more tragic than it was, because you could have been part of the tragedy, and you made sure that you are not. So you're a true testament to what it means to thrive. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. That's so beautiful. I appreciate that. And I'll be taking all of the posts that I've put on Facebook and compiling them along with new information that I have not shared. And it'll be coming into a book that'll be coming out later this year. And I appreciate you so much for allowing me to share this information with everyone on your wonderful video series. Thank you again, Maria.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Lisa. And thank you all for watching. I know this has been a difficult subject. This has gone a little bit longer than most of our videos go, but it's really good stuff. So I want to share the whole thing with you. It is my deep desire for these conversations, these chats I have with these inspiring women like Lisa, to help others know that they're not alone. And many of us have gone through many of these kinds of experiences, and we're here to help. So I believe it's our time to thrive. Will you join me in that quest? Until next time, I'm Maria Tomás-Keegan.